Infinite workday. So that's where things have seemed to have gone at Microsoft. I don't know how it is at other businesses, but it's definitely something that people are going through. I'm not sure who's all in favor of it or who doesn't mind, but the whole 9 to 5 workday they're saying is being extended. Either you going in before 9 and then leaving after 5, and it's just adding to more work. So the whole work-life balance that we talk about, that balance seems to go farther out of the window when you add in to what's going on now with this infinite workday. So I want to take you all through a little bit of what's going on. I'm on Axios.com, and so it says working 9 to 5 was once a way to make a living in the parlance of Dolly Parton, but the workday today, it never ends. Let's see why. That's a startling finding of a report out Tuesday from Microsoft. So that was yesterday on the infinite workday. It starts before many knowledge workers get out of bed, ends late at night, and stretches into the weekend. So you're just constantly on the clock, as you see in the thumbnail, always on the clock. The modern workday for many has no clear start or finish. That's scary, writes the authors of the Work Trend Index Special Report, which looked at anonymized data from millions of global users of Microsoft 365's apps like Outlook, Teams, and PowerPoint. So they're tracking work usage data by the numbers. It's difficult to stay focused during formal business hours. I guess that's just normal business hours at first shift. Knowledge workers are interrupted by a ping from an app. So you're getting some type of text, or you're hearing some type of sound that's causing you to be on an alert. And that ping can be an email, something about your calendar, some type of direct message. Every 1.75 minutes, 275 times. My goodness. During the official 8-hour workday, the analysis finds, which looked at data from a 1 year period ending February this year. Meanwhile, as workers are more distributed around the country and the world, thanks to the rise of remote work, but then they talk about people being called back into the office. So I wonder what the numbers are for remote working around the world versus just the United States. Anyway, 1 in 5 meetings are now happening outside regular work hours. Hmm. Meetings after 8 p.m. are up 16% from last year, and the average employee now sends or receives 50 plus messages outside of core business hours. That's ridiculous. These folks aren't sleeping in come the morning either. A broad base of workers are up at 6 a.m. working, says Colette Stahlbaumer, co-founder of Microsoft Work Lab and general manager for Microsoft 365 Copilot. Yeah, that Copilot is new. Zoom in. A lot of work happens on the fly, according to the authors. 57% of meetings are ad hoc calls without a calendar invite, and 1 in 10 scheduled meetings are booked at the last minute. Wow. For many, the workday now feels like navigating chaos, reacting to others' priorities, and losing focus on what matters most. Do you all feel the same if you in this position where you're constantly being on call, for lack of a better word? Do you feel like you're always being summoned, having to respond to something? Does it get on your nerves? What's it for? Is it too many meetings? I've heard people say that. Let's cut down on meetings to increase productivity. Let's keep going. The big picture. Even as more companies are pushing people back into the office, the rise of remote work has normalized working around the clock wherever you are. So, I mean, you can't have both, right? Either we're going to be in the office or we're going to work remotely. Balance is still missing. People are figuring out how to do their job and work when it works best for them. That may mean people jump back online at night after putting kids to bed or catch up on the weekend, so you don't have any free time, especially if you're a parent. I'm assuming this are more white collar jobs using these Microsoft apps. It's not like construction working or anything like that. So it depends on the industry. The downside of such flexibility is that the workday never ends. See there? That's what I was talking about. One thought, our thought bubble, the inability to unplug is a surefire way to burn out a workforce. And I agree with that. You'll find people quiet quitting, as they call it, looking for another position or trying to start their own business, something where they can be more balanced and forcing more people to possibly go after what their passion is and make money that way versus what they went to school for. Bottom line, Microsoft argues that artificial intelligence can help offset some of this work, possibly, but so many people are scared that it will just offset all of the work and then they won't be doing anything because AI can go after hours over the weekend because AI is not human. But so far, it doesn't seem to be making a dent. Maybe it's too early for AI to make a dent, or maybe it can, depending on how it's used. We still haven't seen that yet. We just hear a lot of the talks about it just taking jobs, which it very well might do. So this can continue with the meetings every so often and out of the blue. You can just have the robot taking the meeting and taking notes and getting what needs to be done. That's how I'm looking at it. But yeah, this is crazy. This whole what they call infinite workday. There's no balance. Let me go to LinkedIn. They had a little bit more on it, some numbers. Many companies have called workers back to the office, but that doesn't mean their work days end when they head home. New data from Microsoft again. They own LinkedIn. 1 in 5 meetings now happen outside of core business hours. Average employee also sends or receives more than 50 messages. And we went through that. 16% happen after 8 p.m. of the meetings. 57% are not previously scheduled. As a result, yeah, the workday feels like navigating chaos. There was some reactions to this. I'm going to scroll down. And here's some more. Knowledge workers get interrupted by various chat and calendar or email pings 275 times over the course of an 8-hour day. So basically every 2 minutes. So that's probably stressing people out to the nth degree. The 9 to 5 is over. Welcome to the infinite workday, unfortunately, people. Now, here's a reaction from Paula Henderson. Because there will always be a handful of people that are okay with this availability. Why, I do not know. It is more important than ever for the employer to make a decision to not cross these lines, but the employers are trying to watch their bottom line, which is the money. So that's where AI plays a big part in it. They can make even more money if these lines are crossed. That's the thing. It's all about the dollar in this world, not just the United States. To respect and value what they get back after allowing this personal time for all employees, they are otherwise creating a hostile and unfair work environment. Very true, very true. And like I said, you will have people quitting and looking more to work for themselves based on what their passion is and not having to deal with this grind of what these companies want, this corporate structure here in the United States. It's driving people crazy and putting them into a box that they do not want to be in. Let's see what else do we have. Pretty much the same. Here's another reaction from Andrew Friedman. The infinite workday is a function of technology. More technology means that employees are now expected to always be available. That's the AI. Employees have to answer emails, send texts, check messages, take calls, participate in meetings whenever required. No reason for not doing so is acceptable. Working vacations are now common. I've seen those. You have people traveling outside of the country. I know people who have been on boats out of the country, but they want access to email and everything like that, because it's a security risk outside the United States. So they traveling other countries, Greece, whatever, and they still trying to make sure before they leave, I need access to my email. So you're on a boat somewhere, but still going back and forth on your email. So he's definitely spot on. Andrew is with this working vacations. That doesn't even go together. It's like an oxymoron. But anyway, are now common. Disconnecting and unplugging is interpreted as a lack of professional commitment. So you can't cut yourself off from the company and go dart. It's like you're not being a team player. We need you available. No wonder so many people have frazzled, harried, and stressed. Yes, like I was saying. So more technology means more working for you. Until I guess maybe they stress people out to the point till they just voluntarily quit, and then the technology does everything at a cheaper price. Well, you don't have to pay technology any salary, just whatever money you have in the budget to maintain it, and all of those salaries for the people who are now gone, making however much a year. That's more than enough to make sure your AI is up and running so it can do the job for free. So who knows? Let's push human beings to the limit with technology so technology can just do their job. But it won't be this utopia where technology does everything and then you get the direct deposit for technology doing your job. No, all that money stays within the company, and a certain few humans at the top of the company just make more money. And then that's that. I wanted you all to check out this video from Instagram about this lady. It's from Microsoft 365's Instagram page, pretty much explaining more so of what's going on. Here we go here. Fair use, YouTube, fair use. Let me refresh. Here we go.
Won't want to miss. For years now, more and more employees across the country have fallen into this kind of seemingly infinite workday. In fact, according to Microsoft Work Trend Index Special Report, many employees send or receive 50 plus messages outside of core hours. The report tells us that in the mornings, 40% of people who are online at 6 a.m. are reviewing emails for the day's priorities. By midday, things can get wild. The report shows that 57% of meetings are ad hoc calls without a calendar invite, and 1 in 10 scheduled meetings are booked at the last minute. Meetings after 8 p.m. are up 16% year over year, with global and flexible teams accounting for much of the increase. But the same report tells us that everything can change now with AI. We're in the era of frontier firms, with companies already incorporating hybrid teams of humans and AI agents. So how can you use AI to tackle the problem of this seemingly endless workday? Read all about it in the full report.
Okay, so there you all have it. So this is obviously a Microsoft bias, and they're saying how you can use AI in a best case scenario to make this work. So I guess it cuts down on actual humans having to do all of this. But like we just saw in the other article, we've yet to see that happen. It hasn't made a dent. Maybe it's too early. Maybe it's not being used right. I know it's still being tested. You look at some of the comments here from E. Martin. Next update better give us our future back. Give us our promised. I don't think it'll let me. Yeah, give us our promised future back. Yeah, E. Martin's very upset. But yeah. Anyway, I don't know if they can make AI work to stop with the people possibly suffering burnout from too much working. Like we say here, AI hasn't been making a dent, and I'm pretty sure there's other videos online of people just complaining about just being burned out. And then you hear the whole working vacations that the guy mentioned on LinkedIn, Andrew, and it's just, that doesn't even go together. Reminds me like summer school. Summer school doesn't go together, and neither does working vacations. And so, how do they expect people to continue this route without being burned out? I mean, of course, if they can get AI to work like they want it to cut down on some of this before hours and after hours to help humans out, Only time will tell. But I think other people are afraid of the fact that once they get the technology to work better, as Andrew was saying, with more technology means uh, more work for the people to always be available because you have technology to use to help you. But if people get burned out and technology is able to take on more of that load, then you look at the whole worries of AI taking jobs and more job loss. So I don't know. The conspiracy theorist in me will say that more technology is being introduced and pushed to almost push people out. Not necessarily depending on the company if they just want a direct layoff, but if what going back to what Andrew's saying, if more technology means companies expect more people to be available, then if people can't handle it, then hey, we'll just have technology do it, which is available 24/7. Because I know people get tired of being expected to always be available, always on some type of call, answer this, reply to that, schedule this. And we're not even just talking about people who are secretaries. These are that whole secretary role has expanded into other roles, it seems like, where people have to be available for this, that, and the third. And so, how long until, and some people probably have already burned out and left. There's still people there. But over the next 5 years, let's go into 2030, how many will be left as technology gets better? They expect it to be available, but now technology is able to make that dent that they say it hasn't made yet in this article, to actually take on more of these tasks. And then the people who are burned out, then, they're just out. It is what it is until, that day comes where AI can offset some of the work. But, at this point, that doesn't seem to be the case. AI is still learning and growing. But how do you guys feel at your job right now? Are you being burned out? Have you already left? Do you see AI really coming in, doing things already at your job? Uh, have you been subject to, every email always being available, having to answer this, respond? Do you take working vacations? Like I said, which is an oxymoron, like I said earlier. It just doesn't make any sense. And so I know that just, and then especially if you're a parent trying to balance all of this, it really gets to the point where you can end up pulling your hair out. And I don't know what more is expected out of human beings in terms of being productive. And these terms, infinite workday, that's another oxymoron. A workday has a certain start and finish time. It's not infinite. So they put together these new terminology to kind of usher in this new type of business environment where the job never stops. And that's just unfair to human beings. It's not unfair to AI, obviously, but just keep your eyes open for where everything is going. And they stress people out enough, then that just gives more of an excuse for AI to take over. Okay, we'll schedule this and that. We got those hours, and it starts cutting into your hours, and then now you have no hours. So just watch the trend at whatever company you're at that has this type of infinite workday environment where everybody is expected to be more available and not have any work-life balance. And again, save your money as well. Keep saving to help fight against whatever, protect yourself against whatever may come where AI completely takes the humans out of that particular company and it just does all of this infinite workday just because it is infinite. It doesn't, AI does not need to rest. We all know that. So I just wanted to bring this all to you, your attention, And infinite workday, is it affecting you in your day to day right now? Did it already do it and you've already left the company you were at? Maybe you started your own business or are working on that, or restaurant, etc. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this infinite workday. It doesn't seem like it's that good. I don't see anything really positive coming out of it. And, let me know what you guys think. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Facts of Feelings, all one word, no spaces. Put that in a YouTube search, Facts of Feelings, no spaces, and my channel comes right up. Again, like, share, and subscribe. And send me any topics you want me to discuss or any videos you want me to review to my YouTube email. That's kregier.mj@gmail.com. It will be down in the description of this video at kregier.mj@gmail.com. And don't work so infinite. I'm out.